Why hello there, good evening, lovely Lego addicts. In the essence of keeping it real, I'm gonna just make this a bit like a live stream start. And yeah, I was gonna film a video all day today because I've been wanting to update you on a medieval MOC for ages, as you will know from the title of this video. But it's been a hell of a day, a hell of a weekend. My lovely sister was visiting, but today was a national air traffic control signal failure, so basically her flight got cancelled and Ollie's van broke down. Basically it's been really fun today, so I've only managed to actually make it to the Lego room at 5 p.m, which is a bit later than I was anticipating. However, I'm here now. I'm drinking wine out of a cider glass. Look, you know this is a glamorous channel. Welcome. So yeah, basically I've been working on my medieval MOC in the background. I say I, but really I've had loads of help from Ollie and from James, who is Slim Jim Lego. I think I've mentioned him before. He's on Instagram, links will be in the description. And it's kind of starting to shape up as something it's far from finished. But it's at a stage where I think it'd be fun to do a bit of an update, because you probably haven't seen it. You haven't seen it at all, I don't think. So I think it's kind of time to show you kind of what's happening. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to kind of update you. It's still a thing. I'm still going to this event in Swindon in October. I'm mildly panicking about the fact that we have to have this finished by then, but it's also still shaping up to be really cool, and it's scary but exciting. So I'll kind of think I'm gonna just grab my phone and just do a bit of zooming around showing you things, because I personally always get really intimidated when I see really big MOCs from people, because I'm like, wow, they're amazing, I could never do something like that. But I'm kind of hoping that if I show you sort of the process and the intermediate stage where we're at now, that you kind of get an idea of oh, okay, that's how it's built up. This MOC has been really interesting. We've had obviously a deadline for it, and actually that's, instead of helpful, been really debilitating, because it's basically made me feel really stressed about it, and sort of the pressure of knowing that it had to be good but also not really feeling super inspired has made it really difficult to start. It sort of took the joy out of it a little bit, but also actually starting was really helpful. With Lego, especially bigger MOCs, it really only comes together in sort of the last 10% of the build. So only really when you start adding those final details, it starts to look kind of as I wanted it. So you kind of have to trust the process, and I wasn't really in a mindset where I felt like I could trust the process, because I thought that because I was making the process was broken. But it's starting to look alright. But I've added some stuff and I think it looks cool. So I'm just gonna show you, okay? Yes, cheers, let's go. Whee! So basically, as you can see, we've reused some of the stuff from our previous MOC, because there was some stuff I really loved about it. So effectively we reused those two towers and some interior details, but then also some of those pine trees, but we've added more. So all of those stumps that you can see there sort of in a sort of temporary place are going to be those type of new type trees, but slightly modified to make them look prettier, because I personally really like those trees, and this is my MOC, so I'm making the things that I like. I'm trying to add loads of figures and animals, especially because I love little animals. So we have all of the piggies in a little piggy mud hole thing. Also, I've got a skunk in this sort of wildlife flowery garden, because he's the skunk from Bambi. I've added some of those falcons from the falconer that we got in the CMF series. Obviously we have the river snaking through everything. I want to add loads more details because I really like adding little things. And we also have this little dude here who's dressed as a tree, and I really liked him. Just, I don't know, that was I'm having fun, let's add him side moment. Our castle is also going to have interiors. So I gave the knights a little staff room where they're just having dinner together. There's some ones guarding the tower here, so we've got some crossbows and some falconers. And then we've got a knight's armory thing here where I got lots of things that I like, because I just like adding random stuff. But it's a prince. I like my little what do you call it, mannequin with all the armor. It's beautiful. That print is actually from K-Town Bricks, so it looks awesome. And then I also have some more here. Again, I think the armor pieces are from K-Town, and I've got some guards here. And also I've got a treasury room, because I was bored and I was I'm gonna just add loads of pro gold, so it's all shiny and I had a lot of fun filling that because I had loads of 2x2 like metallic gold tiles that I could use for that. We're working on like a sort of like prison down there. Sorry, my camera's just like focusing. What is that? I don't know her. So that's kind of like what the interior of the castle is like. It's been easier because we had some of these builds still sort of like mostly built from the last time. We just modified them a little bit, which is quicker when you have the base of it. And as you can see, the rock is coming along, but it's just been upgraded along the way. So we have, as you can see, we got a feature again for amazing waterfall, and we added, this was always ideas, but like we added these chains of the water because it looks really fun. I don't know, I'm really happy with it, and hopefully we're going to be able to add some more because it looks really, I don't know, it's a bit different. So I felt like it was worth trying. You know, you've got to try something. Obviously this rock work is going to have to go onto that building there. That's work in progress, but you can kind of see how we're building it up inside, and it's super colourful and super happy inside. Let me just show you the other side of the MOC. Hold up. Here we have the most of the building that came in the Castle in the Forest set, the Bricklink one, but we've kind of just integrated it into the rock face. And I'm saying we, but I'm like absolutely like taking credit for something I didn't do because Ollie did this. It's hard to tell on camera, it's frustrating, but this is actually slightly offset at an angle, and it was a huge pain to do, but it looks really nice, and I love the tree kind of covering up. It's just such a perfect little hideaway. Come on, focus. I think that has been done really well. It makes me really happy. So that is basically sitting in this rock. So you can kind of see how that side of the MOC is finished, or like not finished, but is really far progressed with lots of details. And then this side of the MOC is like not like that at all. We started adding the windmill that Slim Jim designed. It's sort of like, it's our own variation of it, but it's very, very similar. We just have loads of items to make the actual windmill the correct colours. But at the moment, this is like a stand-in. We're also waiting for loads of bars to make all these weed things. We're still waiting to make this bridge properly. Ollie designed this super cute cottage. So we're kind of still deciding what we're going to do with the cottage, if it's like magical or if we're having a tree take it over. We don't know yet. It's cute though. And then here we have a little fishing village, which is probably the thing at the moment that I'm least excited about. Like, it was fun to build, but also I'm not super happy with it. This roof is going to be that colour, so it sort of will blend in, but at the moment I'm not sure, it feels too flat for what it is. I wanted kind of like a wizard tower on here, but I'm not good enough, so I may change the technique that I've used for it. There's like a telescope inside, as you can see, so for like stargazing. And this build is really heavily inspired by the Lake Town buildings, because I really wanted to have like this sort of like sound feel of like tiny buildings clustered together both on the shore and in the water, so it kind of comes out a bit. And I have lots of little details. So we have like Slim Jim's fish market, we have like this little fishing boat, we have like all these barrels, and this little dude that we want to get a sleepy face for, as if he's like drifting away in his little barrel. So there's loads of stuff that we want to add here. Obviously, I want to get more animals. We want cows, we want chickens in the village. There is loads that I still want, but also at the moment the village is like stumping me. I'm finding it really difficult to like do that. But overall, I also think it's starting to look pretty impressive. Like, there's height to it. And obviously there's going to still be a great hall and another big tower there as well. So that's a really massive corner in a minute. Basically, it's like progressing all right. I think there's a lot of really cool details there. There's also really a lot of stuff that's on order right now to make things the right color or to make things more detailed. But it's one of those things where, because we could technically buy bricks, you can always add more. And I feel like I'm really coming up against sort of this moment where I have a really high standard for myself, and I feel like nothing that I do is good enough, and it kind of has like been paralyzing me from doing a lot of stuff, which is a bit annoying because mostly the remedy for these kind of things is just do it, but it's hard to just start. So I'm super grateful for like James, who's just been designing things like from a distance, like digitally on Studio, and just like brainstorming with us, but also he came over here and like we did a build day with the three of us together, which is really, really fun. There isn't a lot of consecutive time to work on it, so that is kind of stressful because I really kind of want to get to a point where everything is sort of roughly filled and really we're just waiting for the correct colours, or we're adding like small details. But I guess it'll come in time, and we still have a month. It should be fine, but yeah, I'm a bit stressy about it, like a tiny little mini bit. But I'm also kind of proud of where we're at the moment, and it does feel like it's a level up from the previous one, especially because the previous one was using a lot of like half of the actual MOC that we did last time, which was just for fun, completely for us, was like the medieval blacksmith out of box, just as a set, and then a MOC of that from somebody else on Rebrickable. So those weren't actually our buildings. This time all of the buildings are either mine, Ollie's, or James's. So it's kind of nice to know that all of the stuff in here are like actually original buildings, and it's also really cool to see some of Slim Jim's design come together in like a new settings. I've been a fan of his stuff for ages, so it's really exciting to kind of get to work with him, get to like collaborate, because I don't know, I really notice like when we get to chat together, when there's problems with these builds, speaking to another builder is like invaluable. Even though you may not actually get the solution out of that conversation, it's still good to share the problems and like share it with somebody that likes a bit like Lego, because sometimes I talk to Ben about it and he's like, yeah, okay, plastic bricks, yes. He doesn't quite get it. So it's quite nice to share this build with other people. I would highly recommend it. It's genuinely lovely, and if you haven't got like friends near you, I think there's like lug meetups locally, so I probably would have tried that otherwise. But this is, yeah, it comes with a lot of challenges, and the biggest challenge is my brain, I think, and like how much of a perfectionist I am, and you know, the pressure of knowing that people are gonna look at this. Like the other medieval MOC that we did, the first one, came together really quickly, but like we had no expectations at the time. It was just for fun. And now knowing that it's gonna be looked and judged by others is like, oh my goodness, like it needs to be good enough. But hopefully it's gonna be fun for people to look at least in October in Sweden. If you haven't got your tickets yet, do get your tickets. Not per se because I'm there, but just because it's an awesome event. I really like it there. There's so many cool people, so many cool builds, an amazing venue. So do get your tickets for I will have a link in the description as well. I hope you like the little update on the medieval MOC. It's a thing that's happening. Very little other building is currently happening because this thing is literally keeping up all of the space in this room that I could use for building. But I'm doing a few small projects on the side. I've just started working on some box for the city and Ninjago area, so there is stuff happening in the background. It's just kind of like low-key. So I am working on some stuff. It'll probably be a video at some point when I have time. I just have not had a lot of time recently. So even when I have felt like making videos, time is not my friend, unfortunately. But expect me when you see me, I guess. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having some cool Lego time and building some good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Bye. Hello.